Are you considering buying a home in Easton Park, but you're wanting the lowest price possible? Well, in today's video, we're checking out Brookfield Condos. These are the lowest priced properties available in Easton Park. We're checking out 3 different floor plans ranging from $310,000 to $353,000. I'll give you the pros and cons, if it makes sense as an investment property, and just my general opinion of the floor plan. We're gonna get after it right now. Hey, Daniel here, your local Easton Park real estate expert. If you're thinking of making a move to the Easton Park neighborhood, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date on the latest real estate news. I typically post on this channel once a week, usually every Tuesday, and it ranges from touring homes like this one to best deals of the month to market reports. So again, if you're thinking of buying a house in Easton Park, definitely subscribe so you can stay up to date on what's happening in our neighborhood. You know, I was a teacher for 10 years before I jumped into real estate, and I found that a lot of the skills and values that were important to me in teaching transferred over really well into real estate. Honesty, hard work, effective communication, and really just having a desire to help other people is what gets me up in the morning. So it doesn't matter if you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days. You can give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or schedule a Zoom call. Love to help you and your family find a great deal and a great home in this awesome neighborhood. So where we are today, Union Village. Now these are the detached condos from Brookfield. Kind of pan around because you see we're actually right next to, this is the first Brookfield detached condos they built a few years ago. So what it will look like over here. These homes range from 300,000 up to about 360,000. And I see them as really good investment opportunities. Not because just the lowest price you can get in Easton Park, but the incentives that Brookfield's currently offering. You can get a 4.99% fixed FHA loan or 5.125, a conventional if you're going the investment route, which is much lower than I think 6.5 is what I'm seeing from a top tier conventional loan. And then they're also paying off your closing costs. So these could make sense from an investment standpoint if you're looking to buy an investment property. This is also great for a first-time homeowner where you buy the house and then in a few years you can sell it or you can just keep it as an investment property. So we're gonna check out all 3. I'm gonna stop talking, I promise. I'll see you at house number 1. So the first Brookfield condo we're checking out today is their Beckfield floor plan. This is a 1,206 square foot home, 2-bed, 2.5 bath, and this one's listed at $310,000. I think for this property, this is a perfect first-time homeowner / investment property opportunity. We can talk about kind of pros and cons with this. I think a big pro is just the look on the outside. This looks fantastic with all the stone going all the way up. And then we have the hardy plank just up top. And you can kind of compare it to, you know, we have the white hardy plank to brick look. We have stone to brick look. I think this one looks the best. That's personal opinion, but I definitely prefer this different textures of the stone. Now, a big problem with this one, depending on how you see it, is this guy. So we have apartment complex. We're right on the outskirts of Easton Park. And so the view from the upstairs bedroom is that, but we'll discuss as we're walking through this. So we have this front patio space, pretty good amount of space for a front patio. And you don't have a neighbor in front of you, right? You're seeing nothing here. Nothing's gonna be built here. There's just open grass. And then far off in the distance, you have the back of these units. But honestly, it really just depends on how these, 11 units are. As long as they're not screaming, having parties, you should be okay hanging out in your front patio. These homes do come with smart locks and Ring cameras. So to the right, we have our half bath. This one did a nice job with cabinet color. They just did a little upgrade. It's kind of a gray-green cabinet color. I quite like it. So then we come into our kitchen area. This does come with an island. And honestly, that's a big thing, a little piece of advice. This is not the cheapest condo. Okay, the cheapest condo is the Lexington model. I have listed a Lexington before in Easton Park, and it was hard to find a tenant because it feels small. It's 100 square feet smaller than this one. This feels way bigger though, this floor plan. So I like the Beckfield more. And a big reason is because this comes with an island and the Lexington does not come with an island. And so this immediately feels much bigger, much nicer for the kitchen area as soon as you walk in. So decent amount of countertop space, large single basin sink in the island. This is where the fridge would go. I'm sure we can negotiate a fridge being part of this. They also put some outlets here, which was interesting. I'm guessing maybe the idea is put a desk here, and then you have outlets right at the top there. You definitely have plenty of space to put a desk here if you want a kind of a working area. And that would be good to, if you are thinking of using this as an investment property, showcasing, hey, you have only 2 bedrooms, but plenty of space down here if you need a spot to work. And then pushed out area for couch / putting the TV up here. Lots of natural light coming in too. Now another not great thing about these condos is you don't get a yard. You do and you don't, so it's all gravel, right? You are fenced in, but it's not ideal. So it's something I would want to ask, like, am I able to turf down or something like that? Am I able to change this, or is this technically part of the condominium HOA and I can't touch the outside? I'm not entirely sure the answer to that. But yeah, if you're looking for tenants who, most of them are gonna have dogs, and so this may be a deal breaker for them, or if you're a first-time homeowner and you have a dog and you want them to have access to a backyard easily, this might be a deal breaker for you. The only thing I'd say that might be the saving grace for this is that you do have that open grass field right in front of you. So, you know, depending on how well trained your dog is, instead of opening this door, you may just be able to open your front door and they can roam that area because you're not near traffic. You know, there's a brick wall before you get to that apartment building. Right, back here, extra storage underneath the stairs. That's nice. And then we have our 2-car garage. Brookfield does a great job with their 2-car garages. You can see really good amount of space from the wall to the door, so you could actually fit 2 cars in here. They all come with EV chargers, which is also a nice upgrade, and you have tankless water heaters, which is gonna save you on water bill. I also like that they went with LVP flooring. It's gonna hold up better than tile flooring in my opinion. The grout in tile, you have to make sure you clean and seal that. Otherwise it gets dirty quickly and then it just doesn't look good after a couple of years. Going upstairs, carpeted to the right here, stackable washer dryer. Again, we can ask, you know, can we negotiate getting a washer dryer included in the sale of the home? In the current market, that may be a possibility. You have your HVAC system right here. So that's where you change your air filter. I like that this is tiled. It's the only tiled spot in the whole house. You have the drain there, so if something does go wrong, the drain's right there. This is all tiled, and you see there's a little step here. So it shouldn't, you know, if you, God forbid, you do have some problem and the washing machine just starts spraying everywhere, it's very well contained in here. It shouldn't affect the rest of the house. Small landing area. We have our first bedroom. No ceiling fan, that's an easy thing to add on by yourself. And then decent closet space, but they have their own bathroom, which is a nice touch. So, ensuite bathroom, pretty basic, but gets the job done. And then this is the primary. Primary does come with a ceiling fan, so you just have the one to add. You can see, again, like I said, not the greatest view, but it's also kind of how you, this might be a good talking point. If you're looking at this as an investment property, I would just tell people like, hey, that's a reminder that you're not living in an apartment right now, you're living in a house. So it'd be interesting to see how much that apartment building is asking for rent and then trying to be competitive with that, maybe a little bit more, because we have a 2-car garage, we have private roads, you know, a little bit more space. But that's how I would use this if you are seeing this as an investment property. First-time homeowner, that can become an investment property. That's what I did. My wife and I, we bought our first house. It was about this size, and we lived there for three and a half years, and then we kept it when we bought our next house, and we were using it as an investment property. So it's definitely not either or. It's a great opportunity for someone who wants to stop paying rent, start paying a mortgage, and then maybe in a few years, you don't want to give this one up. This is a good opportunity. You can rent it out or sell it, but you have options with this one. So this is a decent sized room. Again, like the natural light coming off on the side there too. We have a closet here. And then the bathroom over here. I wish there was a second sink. That's my big gripe I have. I think for me personally, I would see about, and then the walk-in shower there. I would see, you know, upcoming new builds, how much more is it to add a second sink? Obviously it's too late for this one, but that would be something that may be a deal breaker for me personally. Is just having 2 sinks in the primary is such a big selling point when you're looking for tenants. That's a really nice thing to have, and it's like, you have space. I wish there was a second sink there. Cool, so this was the first house. The next 3 are not finished. So I'm hoping to show you 3 more, but if I'm locked out or there's builders currently working in the home, then I won't be able to get in. But hopefully I will see you at house number 2. All right, next house we're checking out is our Temple floor plan. This is a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,447 square foot home listed at 317. So 7,000 more listed, 7,000 more than the previous house, but 250 square feet bigger. So much more space, very different floor plan though. So we're gonna talk about kind of pros and cons of that. We are about 10 doors down. We were down there, right, looking over there. This view, very different. So we have this beautiful tree. I'll walk further back so you can kind of see it from the patio space. And then the back of, looks like the storage unit / covered parking for that apartment complex. So apartment complex is further away. We have thankfully a tree directly in front of this door. So it's definitely a bit more private while still having that open grass field in front of you. Much smaller front patio, really more of a stoop. There's no room to put a chair or anything out here. But they do make up for that upstairs. So, big thing about this one, big upgrade in my opinion, is the primary is downstairs. You don't have to walk up the stairs to go to bed. So this is the primary bedroom. This is obviously cylinder construction, right? So it's kind of nice because I can't turn the lights on and you get a really good sense of how much natural light is in this house, which is a pretty good amount. So very good amount of space for this primary bed. And then we have a much larger closet in the previous home with natural light coming in, which is always a nice plus. And then we have a 2 sink, so dual vanity, which is a big upgrade in my mind. And then just a bigger open flowing bathroom. This works better, especially for 2 people sharing the bathroom. Here we have storage under the stairs, just like the previous home, about the same amount of storage. Here's your HVAC, so that's where you would change out your air filter. Here is our utility closet. So same floor as the primary and not stackable, so you don't have to do that. So if you already have washer dryer and they're not stackable, you can use them just fine here. And then this is the 2-car garage where you're most of the time will be coming in and out of. Same stuff as the last home, except you do get a door to the side from the garage. Now this is really nothing, right? It's just a slab of concrete and then all gravel like the previous house. So I think the last house had more of a traditional yard, quote unquote, where leaving the kitchen / living room area, you can open a sliding door and go into the yard, okay? So you don't really get that with this house. But obviously the biggest difference is primary is downstairs and kitchen, dining, living, second bedroom is all upstairs. This will be carpeted, I'm sure, the stairs. But then upstairs, this is all gonna be LVP. You can see underneath the paper here, they're just trying to protect it while they work. So much natural light. I mean, it's incredible how much natural light is coming into this house. No lights are on, and it's just everywhere I look, there's natural light. Large living area, formal dining, much bigger kitchen. This island is massive compared to the previous house we just saw. Fridge is more tucked away with this one, more countertop space. Much larger pantry, right? Corner pantry, that looks great. And then you do have an upstairs balcony. So this is also nice because if I can open it, your neighbors don't have this floor plan. So you're not looking at people on their balcony staring at you. Now this isn't the greatest view, right? But it is a private road. There's not gonna be any traffic through here. And so you can chill out up here and have a decent amount of privacy. No one on this side with that balcony and then that wall there. So Really good amount of privacy if you want to chill out on the back patio. It's just, like I said, this is upstairs, you don't have a yard, so this is great for you, but if you have a dog and you really want an outdoor space where the dog can hang out too, this floor plan doesn't really work for that, right? So pros and cons. This is definitely much bigger though, much more space with this. And then this is the guest bathroom upstairs. And then the second bedroom. I like that they have 2 panes of glass. Lots of natural light again coming in. And there you have it. So that's the Temple floor plan. Very different, very similar as far as the price range, but much bigger for the square footage. For me, if I was picking between the two for an investment property, I think I'd pick the first one. It had a 2.5 bathroom. You had that half bathroom extra. Yes, you have to go upstairs for the primary, but it just felt like a simpler, way to live for somebody, rather than saying, hey, your kitchen's upstairs, are you cool with that? A lot of people would say no, right? They want everything downstairs except the bedroom. They'll walk them down for that, but they want living space downstairs because that's more normal for most homes. So I think for an investment property, that one, if I was living in the house for multiple years, I'd pick this one for sure. So it's really depending on what you're going for. They're so close in price and you can negotiate almost anything in this market. We could probably get them for about the same price. It's just kind of, are you living in this for an extended period of time, or are you going to rent it out eventually, right? Kind of weighing those two against each other. This one is a better lot placement for sure, with not having to stare at balconies of apartment buildings. So that's definitely an upgrade with this one too. Cool. There are 2 others. I'm going to try to get access to them, and we'll at least see one more, I hope. So I'll see you over at the final 1, maybe 2 more homes. All right, so we can actually only get into this last home. This is the Charter floor plan. This is one of their newest floor plans, so I'm excited to check it out. This is a 1,717 square foot, so I think the largest condo they offer. It's a 3-bed, 3 full bath, listed at $353,000. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. So this is about 300 more square feet in the previous home. You get a 3rd bedroom, so way different, but it is about $35,000 more. So let's see if it's worth it. I will say, I love the exterior, this farmhouse look. It's appealing to me. I like that look a lot. Looks very clean and neat. Not a big fan of, we are right next to the apartment complex. So we've just come even further down. We were over there, first house we were way down there. Now we are kind of near the entrance to the apartment complex. You're super close to these balconies. So it probably even looks further away in the video. There, I could throw a ball very easily into any of those balconies. So obviously it has nothing to do with this floor plan, just this specific home. But owners and builders are aware when it's not a great lot, and so they're gonna lower the price. So if we're like in a corner lot for this floor plan, it's not gonna be $353,000, it's gonna be higher. I'm interested to see this one because getting a home at this price, over 1,700 square feet, just in Easton Park, is impossible. Really, you're looking at $400,000 plus to get into a 1,700 square foot home in this neighborhood. So for the amount of space, that's a deal. Let's just see how the flow works out. So LVP flooring, carpet upstairs, we'll go up there second. To the left here, you have your guest bedroom number 1. Now this is the first weird thing I noticed when I walked through, turning the lights on. You have to walk through the guest bedroom to get to the back patio, which is just weird. The back patio is great. This is a massive, very generous back patio. You see they're gonna add a concrete step there, but really big back patio space. Again, all gravel. That's non-negotiable for all of these. It'd be interesting to see again if you do have options of adding turf back here, if you are capable of doing that, but really weird to walk through the guest bedroom to get here. I mean, for me, I would probably make this a home office, and so walking through here is not a big deal, but if someone's putting a bed in here, it's awkward, right? A little strange. Walking further down, they have their own full guest bathroom. And you know what you could do is just make that a full guest bedroom, only when people are staying in from out of town, that's when it's used, but most of the time it's not used. So that could make more sense on a day-to-day basis. We have our storage underneath the stairs. I like that all of them have that. It's really smart from Brookfield. And then our 2-car garage. This one's actually quite a bit bigger than the previous one. So we have this little nook here, and then the garage starts, and then they pushed out another nook there for the tankless water heater, with, again, pretty generous amount of 1.5 foot space either side. So these garages are really big. I appreciate them putting the EV charger in here too. It just appeals to more people. It might somewhat future-proof it. And then the primary again downstairs, which is great. Really big primary. It's definitely the biggest one we've seen so far. Really nice bathroom, very long, 2 sinks, natural light coming in. Not the greatest view, but you know, whatever, we're getting some light into the, it means you don't have to put anything over this. No one's ever gonna be looking in. And then closet space is much better than previous homes we've seen. Something else, if you haven't been to the Brookfield homes, they have the timers, which I really like. The house I live in right now is a Brookfield, so you can just set a timer for, you're gonna take a shower, hit 15, the vent will turn on, and then after 15 minutes, it automatically turns off. So it's a nice little feature. I like having to not have to flick that switch off and on, because then that just becomes, I don't ever turn it on, because I can't be bothered with it. All right, let's go upstairs. So very similar to the temple floor plan where we just came from, with the kitchen upstairs. Kitchen, living room upstairs. So very similar, right? We have the upstairs patio and then open living room into kitchen. I feel like this island's smaller than the temple that we just came from. I think that it might be wrong, maybe it's just because that's not centered. This feels like a smaller island though. It reminds me of the first home we saw. But this is nice. I like that we have a corner pantry with this one also. So plenty of space here. Good amount of cabinets for it being a smaller property. Really good amount of space in the living area. And then dining area over here. And then we have upstairs balcony. So this one's on the side of the house instead of looking out to the back like the previous home. I kind of prefer that one though, because this one specifically where we are, we're just looking at, you know, the apartment building's balcony right there, and it's very close. Like if someone was out there right now, they would hear me talking smack about them. So it's not a great amount of privacy. You can do stuff, right? You can put something here to kind of cover that off, but just kind of speaking from what I'm thinking right off the get-go from seeing this. It's not a bad design per se. It's just more of the specific home near that apartment complex. Kind of a turn off for me for this price point, honestly. Third bedroom. Okay, a little small. I like that they add a built-in shelf here. It's a nice little touch. And then HVAC system, guest bathroom. I've seen a similar design and materials as previous. This one you actually get a utility room, so it's not a closet, it's not stackable. Either side, a lot of space. They don't put a shelf here, which surprised me. It seems like an easy thing they could have added. Yeah, so there you have it. That's the charter. I don't know if I like this one because of the price. I like the idea of this one. When I saw it on paper, I was like, ooh, I'm excited to check out the charter, because I'd never seen this one of their newest models that their newest floor plans that Brookfield's doing. I think I prefer the temple over this because of the price. I don't think this is worth $35,000 more. You are getting more space, but this layout is kind of confusing to me. So if you're wanting this much space, and you're wanting the lowest price possible and it's all about space for you, this is a really good option for sure. But if you're more concerned about the flow of, you know, living in this space, do you want a backyard? Do you want a little bit more privacy? I would consider going up to the 400,000 mark, because then we're looking at the Meritage detached condos in Easton Park, and you're getting a yard with grass. You're getting more space from your neighbors, and you're getting between 1,700 to 2,000 square feet. So that's probably where I would suggest if someone's looking and they need that much space, maybe go there. I don't know about this one, but maybe for you, you're thinking, well, it's $350,000. I'd rather spend that than $400,000. I don't care about the layout. The layout's fine. I just want space. More power to you. This one's great for you too. From an investment standpoint and just first-time homeowner, I do like the first two. They are 2-bedroom. This one is a 3-bedroom. So for some people, it's going to make a big difference because a lot of people work from home now. So having that 3rd bedroom and being able to convert it into an office is something that is attractive to a lot of people. But I will say that first house had those outlets right next to the kitchen. And so there's space there to put a good sized desk and enough room to where there's not going to be uncomfortable for the flow of walking around the kitchen dining. So there's pros and cons to each, but I hope, if nothing else, this showed y'all just kind of a variety of what you can expect from the Brookfield condos. Like I said earlier, they're between $300,000 to $353,000. This is the highest price one, or one of the highest price ones. $360,000 might be the highest. So we're looking low to mid $300,000s. Not bad, especially for getting to live in Easton Park, getting access to the amenity center. And this is the last kind of area they're building for about a year or two. And then when they extend Slaughter further south, Easton Park, that's where the rest of Easton Park is going to go in the future, then the maps show that there's going to be more Brookfield condos there. So personally, I'll let you know, I'm already looking at those as a great investment opportunity. And so I'm kind of looking at these floor plans thinking which one makes sense for an investment. And I think the Beckfield, I think that was the first one we saw, that's probably my favorite as far as an investment property, 2-bedroom, feels like a big amount of space, but priced at $310,000. I'd buy one of those for $310,000, close to Slaughter Lane when they extend it. But anyway, I'm rambling. If you are interested in purchasing a home in Easton Park, or maybe you're a first-time homeowner, you want to learn more just about the process, the pros and cons, what to look out for, you can always give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or schedule a Zoom call. Be happy to help you find a great deal, a great lot, talk about the pros and cons, go on tours with you. Just try to be professional and give you as much insight as possible so that you're making a clear and confident decision with a very large decision in home purchasing. Or if you're an investor, definitely reach out to me. I've helped some investors in the neighborhood finding a good investment for them, because it's not always about finding the lowest price home. You do have to think about, would a tenant move into this? How much rent could we charge? Those types of things. So hopefully this video was helpful for y'all. And until next time, I would see you guys around the neighborhood.